and welcome to class today. We're going to be working a little bit deeper into the hips and the hip flexors, working with a little bit of compression and also expansion. So if you think that maybe you'll need a set of blocks or you usually like using them throughout your practice, then I invite you to grab them, or maybe something to place under your heels if you feel that in poses such as malasana or squat, you need to lift the heels up a little bit. You can roll a towel up and place it underneath your heels. So we're going to begin at the back of our mats. You can keep your blocks somewhere by the side, maybe more towards the front of the mat, or if you feel that you would like to use the blocks right away, you can place them under your heels. So we're going to begin in Malasana actually. So our toes are coming slightly off of the mat. The heels are in line with one another. The elbows come to the inside of the thighs, a little bit below the knees, making sure you're not pressing too much into the knees, but more into the thighs. And then you can bring your hands together in front of your heart. Take an inhalation through the nose and exhale through the mouth. You can close your eyes here if you'd like to. We're getting right into it, so this may feel a little bit intense if this is one of your first movements that you're doing today. And if that's the case, if there's any tension, then back off of the pose a little bit. Like I was saying before, place something under your heels, maybe place the blocks under your heels, elevate the heels a little bit, or work with the positioning of your feet to make it a little bit less comfortable for you. I'm sorry, a little bit more comfortable for you. So we are searching for sensation. We're not really uh, looking to experience pain, obviously. The sensations are totally normal. The sensations are what allows us to move a little bit further every time we practice. So we are just acknowledging the sensations that we're experiencing. We're not trying to create them. We're not trying to amplify them. We are just acknowledging them and breathing into them. So with everyone, this is going to be completely different. This can be the tops of the feet. This could be in the ankles. This could be very deep inside of the hips. This could be in the belly, in the shoulders, in the neck, or maybe physically you're feeling completely fine and comfortable, and mentally you are feeling really distracted, or like maybe this isn't where you're searching what you're searching for today. And if any of that is true for you, then I invite you to close the eyes and just settle into the pose without focusing on how you look. And again, more just bringing the attention to how you feel. Noticing when we're a little bit longer in any pose, what tends to happen with the body. If there's certain tensions that start to build up, does the breath begin to shorten? Do we start to round through the spine to make this a little bit more accessible and more comfortable? Can we focus on elongating through the crown of the head, pulling the tailbone down towards the floor, towards the mat? Pull the shoulders in towards one another in the back, activating into the scapula. And then bringing the chin slightly in towards the chest. So making sure that the head isn't arching back. We really want to keep the spine long here. The hands can be pressing into one another. This helps to open into the hips a little bit deeper. If you would like to, you can bring one hand to your heart center and place the other palm on top of it. And in this way, connecting even deeper with your physical body, with your emotional body. Take an inhalation through the nose, elongate through the spine. Breathe deeply into the belly, feel the belly expanding. And then exhale through the mouth. Inhaling deeply into the nose, directing the breath again into the belly, elongating through the crown of the head, and as you exhale through the mouth, notice if you can sink just a tiny bit deeper into this pose. Inhaling again through the nose, again elongating the spine, feeling that length starting from the tailbone all the way through the crown of the head. And exhale through the mouth. One more inhalation like this through the nose, this time taking the breath wherever the body is asking for it. Directing the breath into a space that needs a little bit more expansion, a little bit more attention, rubbing up against those tensions with the breath. And then exhaling through the mouth. Taking a few moments here to really focus in on your breath. Trying not to create any judgments around any sensations that you're experiencing. Giving yourself a bit of time here to create an intention for today's practice. Allowing the intention to come from the heart. We will be working with the collective intention of self-forgiveness today. Using our breath to guide our movements to help us go a little bit deeper. To help us move beyond any obstacles that maybe we've created for ourselves. Moving today with the coordination of the breath and the body. Trying to move away from the thoughts of the mind. Another inhalation through the nose, together collectively. And exhale through the mouth. Gently blink the eyes open if they're not already open. Slowly walk the hands a little bit further forward out in front of you. Begin to round through the spine, staying on the fingertips and just very, very slowly working with your own breath as you walk the hands a little bit further forward. Begin to raise the hips off of the floor. Moving maybe a little bit from side to side, working towards straightening one leg and then the other. Allowing that blood to start flowing back through the legs. Keeping the feet as they are, just invite whatever movements the body is calling for at this moment. We're in a kind of combination of a weird downward facing dog with the feet slightly open, pressing into the heels, elongating the spine. Working with the breath, you are more than welcome to begin to work with your Ujjayi breath here if you'd like to. Inhaling in and out through the nose. If you'd like to continue to exhale through the mouth whenever you feel that the body needs to release a little bit. It's a nice indicator for me as well, I think, to exhale through the mouth because my jaw tends to tense up when I start to go a little bit deeper than maybe I'm ready. And so it's quite nice to use that as a guide. And then as you're ready, walk the hands a little bit further forward, keeping the hands shoulder distance apart, bringing the feet in so that they are parallel to one another, keeping the feet a little bit wider for now, almost as wide as the mat. Keep pressing into your fingertips, keep elongating the spine, keep pulling the tailbone up. Take a deep inhalation, begin to elevate the heels off of the floor, bend into the knees, gaze forward, work the belly towards the tops of the thighs. Press your hands into the floor. Maybe you gaze in between your thumbs. Make sure the knees aren't splaying out from one another. Press yourself a little bit further back. Keep the heels elevated. Take an inhalation here, elongate the spine, release any tension in the shoulders and neck. As you exhale, spring yourself forward into plank pose with the feet wide. Puff up through the back of the heart, activate into the belly. Inhale here. As you exhale, begin to slowly lower the hips down towards the floor, pressing the glutes in towards one another, staying high up on the toes, pressing the heart forward, micro bending into the elbows here. Press the thumbs and all of the fingers, the index finger especially, firmly into the floor. Inhale, press the heart further forward. Maybe the chin leaves the chest, gaze forward. Exhale, bring the chin in towards the chest, puff up through the back of the heart slowly and with control. Bring yourself back up into a downward facing dog. Inhale, elevate the heels off of the floor, bend into the knees, press yourself towards the back of the mat, so really working the belly towards the top of the thighs. Keeping the heels really elevated, elongate through the spine. Exhale, shoot yourself forward. Inhale, puff up through the back of the heart, stay high up on the toes, activate the belly. Exhale with control, dropping the pelvis down. Gazing forward, making sure there's no pain in the lower back, micro bend into the elbows. Push the heart forward with your inhalation. Pull the glutes in towards one another. Exhale, chin to chest with control, bringing yourself all the way back up into a downward facing dog. Inhale, elongate through the spine. Exhale, walk the hands a little bit closer towards the back of the mat. So still in a downward facing dog with the hands just a tiny bit closer towards you. Press firmly into the right hand. Bring the left hand over towards the right ankle, coming into a twist, gazing underneath your right armpit. Hips are squared, kneecaps facing forward, all 10 toes facing the front of the mat. Twisting from the spine. Inhale, press yourself away from the floor with your hands. Exhale, bring the hands forward. Walk the hands a tiny bit further forward. Bend into the knees. Bring the heels off of the floor. Rest the belly on top of the thighs. Keep pressing the tailbone back. Press firmly into your fingertips. With the exhalation, shoot yourself forward, coming into that high plank. Puff up through the back of the heart. Pull the navel in towards the spine. Stay here for the inhalation. As you exhale, gently drop the hips down towards the floor, gazing forward. Press the heart forward, pull the glutes in towards one another, activate through the legs. Inhale. Exhale, chin to chest, slowly bringing yourself back up into a downward facing dog. Walk the hands a little bit closer towards you. Press the left hand firmly into the floor. With your exhalation, bring your right hand to your left ankle, working into a twist. Really working on pressing the heels in the direction of the floor. If the heels are elevated, that's fine. Bend into the knees, pull the hips forward. Make sure all of the weight isn't in your wrists. So really activate through your fingertips on the left-hand side. Take an inhalation. Exhale. Working deeper into your twist. One more inhale like this. Exhale. Inhale, bring the right hand in line with the left. Walk the hands a tiny bit further forward. Elevate the heels, bend into the knees. Press the belly on top of the thighs. Gaze back behind you in between your feet. Take a deep inhalation. Exhale, gaze forward. Shoot yourself forward, coming into that high plank again. Take a deep inhalation here. Puff up through the back of the heart. Exhale, dropping the hips down towards the floor. Shoot your weight slightly further forward. Maybe micro bend into the elbows. Press the heart forward. Activate the belly. Inhale. Exhale, coming back into that plank. Bend into the knees. Bring the knees down to hover. Walk the feet tiny bit further forward so the knees are underneath the hips, hands are underneath the shoulders. Puff up through the back of the heart. Gaze a little bit further forward. Take an inhalation. As you exhale, bring the right knee in towards your nose, rounding through the spine. Bring the right foot back, gently lower the knees without touching the floor. Gaze forward. Inhale. And as you exhale, bring the left knee in towards your nose. Bring the left foot back behind you. Gently lower the knees down towards the floor. Inhale, opening the heart, gazing forward. Exhale, rounding through the spine, cat. Inhale, gazing forward, cow pose. Exhale, rounding through the spine. Inhale, coming into a neutral spine, bringing your hands so that the fingertips are facing your knees. Tuck the toes if they're not already tucked. As you inhale, begin to round through the spine, bringing the chin in towards the chest. As you exhale, drop the belly and work the sitting bones down towards the heels, gazing forward, really stretching into the wrists here. Inhale, shift the weight forward, round through the spine. And exhale, shift the weight back, gazing forward. Working with your own breath here. So this can mean staying in this pose and working front to back. This can mean moving your wrists and hands in different positions, inviting movements, circular movements, inviting movements of the hips and shoulders. You could start moving into the neck, wherever it is that the body's asking for a bit of attention. Maybe you want to completely back off of the wrists and come onto the knees and then just move the wrists in circular motions, work into your fingertips. Just allow your breath to guide your movements. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale. And exhale. If you're on your hands and wrists, bring your weight towards the back of the mat, tucking the toes, bringing the sitting bones onto the heels. Working in this pose for a little bit. This pose, it's very common to feel a lot of sensations in the bottoms of the feet, especially in the toes. Uh, but it's also very important for us to be working with this part of the body and to light up this part of the body, especially when working with the hips, because it's all connected. So we shouldn't just be focusing on the movements of the hips when we're working in a hip-centric class. It's important to incorporate all of the body parts into that specific body part. And so in this case, the feet are really important as well, as much as the hips. What we're doing in this pose is bringing the sitting bones onto the heels and then working the shoulders over top of the hips. So we don't want to be leaning too far forward or too far back or to one side or the other. Just settling into the pose here, using the breath, noticing what happens with your breath when you stay in this pose a little bit longer. Notice if your breath begins to shorten, notice if your mind begins to race, and just think, when can I get out of this pose? Or notice if you begin to play games with yourself, like, if I just move a bit, I'll get out sooner, or I'll just get out now. I don't really care. The idea is not to push ourselves beyond our limits, but to work within our comfort zone and explore the sensations. So these sensations are completely normal, and we're just breaking up some of the fascia, some of the emotions that are being stored inside of our feet, inside of the knees and quads. With your next inhalation, wherever you are with your feet, extend the arms overhead, working to bring the arms in line, the biceps in line with the ears, gazing up at your fingertips. As you exhale, cactus the arms, shoot the heart forward, gazing up. Inhale, extend the arms out in front of you, rounding through the spine, bringing the fingertips together. As you exhale, interlace the hands, press the hands forward, bring the arms overhead. Press the heart forward, work the arms back behind. Inhale. Exhale, bring the fingertips together, palms together, face the hands forward, round through the spine. Inhale, arms overhead, cactus the arms, gaze up. Exhale, bring the hands out in front of you, this time bringing right arm underneath the left, bringing hands to opposing shoulders, keep the chin tucked. Bring the hands into eagle arms, so interlace the arms, right hand below the left, bring the hands together, gaze up. Take an inhalation, bring the elbows up a little bit higher towards your chin. Exhale, unwind, cactus the arms, gaze up. Inhale, bring the arms out in front of you, round through the spine. Bring the left hand underneath the right this time. Interlace the arms coming into eagle arms, work the elbows up. Inhale. Exhale, cactus the arms, opening the heart. Inhale, bring the hands out in front of you, slowly and with control. Bring the tops of the feet to the floor. Maybe you invite a little bit of movement here to bring the blood back. And even if you didn't stay the entire time in the toes pose, it's totally fine. Every time you practice, go a little bit deeper, a little bit longer. Work with your breath a little bit more. With your next inhalation, dropping the belly, gazing forward. Exhale, rounding through the spine, bringing the chin in. Inhaling, gazing forward. Exhale, tuck the toes with control, bring the hips up, coming into downward facing dog. Returning back into this position, into this asana that allows us to calm the mind by bringing the head below the hips. Maybe you invite some movements here by bending into one knee and then the other. Keep pulling the tailbone up. Bring the left foot down towards the mat. Press the foot firmly into the floor with the inhalation. Raise the right leg, keeping the hips squared. As you exhale, shift the weight forward, bring the right knee into nose. Inhale, extend the right leg overhead. Exhale, open the hips, stack the hips on top of one another, bring the right heel in towards the right glute. Shoulders remain in line with one another, squared towards the front of the mat. Invite a bit of movement here as well if you'd like to. If there's any tension that you feel starting to pile up in your hips, moving the right knee in a circle, working into your ankle, crunching your toes, making sure you move in the opposite direction as well. Keep pressing the fingertips firmly into the floor. With the next inhalation, right knee up, bring the left heel up, shift the weight forward, bring your right knee towards your right shoulder. Gaze out in front of you. Inhale. As you exhale with control, drop the right foot to the outside of your right hand. Bring the right hand on the inside of your right foot. You can use a block here if you'd like to. Bend into the right knee, pivot the back foot. So we're working with heel to heel alignment right now. The right foot is a little bit on the outside. And then extend your left arm overhead, gazing up towards your left fingertips. Pull the tailbone slightly down. Keep extending through the left arm. Inhale, opening the heart, pressing the right shoulder in towards the right knee. As you exhale, bring the left hand down, pivot on the back foot, bringing the right heel up, extend the right arm overhead this time. So working into a twist. So keep extending the right fingertips, gaze at the right fingertips, stay bent in the right knee. Take an inhalation. Exhale. Move the block if you were using the block on either side. Walk the right foot slightly out towards the right. Drop the left knee down onto the floor. Come onto the exterior part of the right foot. Bring the right hand to the inside of the right thigh. Inhale, opening the heart. As you exhale, begin to twist, gazing towards the back foot. Inhale again, elongate the spine. Make sure you're not sinking down into the left arm. And exhale, twist a little bit deeper. Inhale, coming back through center, bringing the right hand again to the inside of the right foot. Bring the right foot parallel to the mat. Bring the left toes off of the floor. Pivot the left toes towards the right side. Inhale, extend the left arm. So it's kind of like a warrior two with the legs, a mini warrior two. The left knee is a bit behind the left hip. Sinking the hips down towards the floor. The right foot is towards the right side of the mat, if not off of the mat. Keep extending the left arm. Take an inhalation. Exhale, maybe you bring your left hand to the inside of your right thigh. Keep gazing overhead. One more inhalation. As you exhale, extend the left arm, bring the left fingers tips a little bit out in front of you, bring the left toes back onto the mat, keep the left knee down for now, drop the left elbow down onto the floor, raise the left knee, come onto the outside of the left foot, stack the feet coming into side plank on the left elbow. Extending the right arm overhead. So we're really working on elongating the entire right side of the body. Inhale. Exhale, bring the right elbow down to meet the left. So they're parallel, shoulder distance apart. Pivot the toes, all 10 toes facing forward. Gaze forward. Activate into the belly. Take an inhalation. Exhale, gently drop the pelvis down towards the floor. Bringing the feet a little bit wider, coming into Sphinx pose. Gaze forward. Press the heart forward. Take an inhalation. Exhale, gently drop the forehead down towards the floor. Bring your hands so that they're in line with your shoulders, coming up onto the fingertips. Open the feet as wide as the mat. With the next inhalation, keeping the elbows at a 90-degree angle, press yourself slightly up. So we're not working to straighten the arms here. We're working to press the chest forward without causing pain to our lower back. pull the glutes in towards one another. Inhale, press the feet firmly into the floor. Exhale, bringing your forehead back down. Interlace the hands behind your back this time. With the inhalation, pressing the palms together, begin to open the heart, gazing forward. Pressing the tops of the feet into the floor. Exhale, dropping the forehead down. Bring the hands underneath the shoulders, bring the feet in parallel to one another. Transitioning through tabletop, bring yourself back up into a downward facing dog. Rinsing it out here as you inhale, raise the heels up, shift your weight forward, coming into plank. Exhale through chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, press the right foot into the floor, raise the left leg. As you exhale, shift the weight forward, bring the left knee in towards your nose, rounding through the spine. Inhale, raising the left leg, bending into the left knee, this time working the left heel towards the left glute. Shoulders facing forward, shoulders squared. Begin to rotate in the left hip, so working the left knee in a circle, make sure the right kneecap is facing forward. Inviting whichever movements it is that your body is calling for. Returning back to your intention, or to our collective intention of self-forgiveness. Inhale, opening the hip. Exhale, coming high up onto the right toes, bringing the left knee in towards your left armpit. Gaze forward. As you exhale, gently drop the left foot on the outside of your left hand. Using a block here, if you'd like to, bring the left hand to the block or to the floor on the inside of your left foot. Rotating the back foot, extending the right arm overhead. Stay bent in that right knee. Take an inhalation. As you exhale, drop the right hand towards the right side of the mat, pivot onto the back toes, drop the heels a little bit, extend the left arm overhead. Gaze at your left fingertips. Exhale, bring the left hand down onto the floor, drop the back knee onto the floor, come onto the exterior part of your left foot, bring your left hand to the inside of your left thigh. Begin by opening the heart, opening the chest, and then rotating yourself towards the back. So gazing towards your right foot. Another inhalation here. Sinking the hips down, staying active in the body, making sure you're not sinking down into your right shoulder. As you exhale, bring the left hand to the inside of your left foot. Bring the left foot parallel with the mat. Raise the right foot off of the floor. Bring the right foot towards the left side of the mat. You can keep a block here underneath your hand if it's comfortable for you. Whatever you need to do to bring the floor closer to you, do that. And then we're working with heel to knee alignment at this point. So the right knee is a little bit behind the right hip. The left heel is in line with the left knee, more or less. And then the left shoulder is pressing into the left knee. Extend the right arm overhead. Gaze towards your right fingertips. Opening the heart, sinking the hips a little bit down and forward. As you exhale, bring the right hand towards the right side, a little bit out in front of you. Pivot yourself back so you're facing the front of the mat. Drop the right elbow down onto the floor. Come onto the outside of the right foot. Bring the left foot on top of the right, coming into side plank. Making sure that the left arm is extending, reaching towards the top of the mat. Take an inhalation. Raise the hips a little bit higher. As you exhale, gently bring the Left elbow down in line with the right. Gazing in between your thumbs. Take an inhalation, puff up through the back of the heart. As you exhale, begin to walk the feet towards the front, coming into dolphin pose. So keep the heels high, bend into the knees as much as you need to. Work the inner thighs in towards one another. Make sure there's no tension in your neck. Gaze just a little bit further forward. Inhale. Keep walking the feet forward. And exhale. Zip up the belly, pull the navel in towards the spine. Inhale, one more here. Exhale, release any tension in the neck. Maybe you allow the head to hang heavy. Inhale. Exhale with control, dropping the knees down onto the floor, coming into embryo pose, untucking the toes, bringing the forehead down, releasing the arms alongside your body. Palms facing up, reconnecting with your breath. Inhale through the nose, direct the breath into the back of the heart, into the lower back, all the way down through the tailbone. And exhale through the mouth. Inhaling through the nose, directing the breath into your belly, feeling the belly pressing to the tops of the thighs. And exhaling through the mouth, releasing any tension in the shoulders, in the neck. Inhaling one more like this, collective breath, working with your intention or with our collective intention. And exhale. Inhale, slowly bring the fingertips underneath the shoulders, bringing yourself all the way back up. Giving yourself a moment here. Maybe keeping the eyes closed. Noticing what sensations you're experiencing in your body. With the next inhalation, open your eyes, extend the arms overhead, gaze towards your fingertips. As you exhale, bring the hands out in front of you, tuck the toes, press yourself into a downward facing dog. Press the left foot into the floor, extend the right leg overhead. Bend into the right knee with the exhalation, shift the weight forward, bring the right knee towards the nose. Stay here for the inhalation, gaze between the thumbs. As you exhale with control, drop the right foot in between the hands. Maybe you use the blocks here if you'd like to, keeping them on either side of your right foot. Inhale, extend through the right leg, press the right toes firmly into the floor, especially the right big toe, keeping the left heel elevated. Gazing forward, pyramid with the legs. Exhale, walking the hands towards the back, shifting the weight slightly back, so dropping the left heel, raising the right toes, dropping the forehead down towards the right shin. Inhale, shifting the weight forward, elongating the spine, pressing the right big toe deeply into the floor. And exhale, shifting the weight back. One more like this. Inhale, gazing forward. Exhale, shifting the weight back. Inhale, bend into the right knee, bring the left hand to the inside of the right foot, extend the right arm overhead, dropping the hips down. Take a deep inhalation. As you exhale, cactus the right arm, twisting, gazing back behind you. Inhale, extend the right arm overhead, pivot the back foot, Transitioning through horse pose, really low. Begin to extend through the right leg, bending into the left knee, coming into Skandasana on the left. Bringing the right arm overhead, placing the left hand on the floor for balance if you'd like to. Opening the heart. Inhale. Exhale, transitioning again through horse pose, this time coming into warrior two. Bending into the right knee, back foot becomes parallel with the back of the mat. Tuck the tailbone down, inhale, drop the shoulders. Exhale, bring the hands overhead, pivot onto the back heel, coming into crescent lunge. Right knee is bent, opening the heart. As you exhale, cactus the arms, gazing up. Inhale, extend the arms overhead. Bring the belly to the top of the thigh. Exhale, bring the hands onto the blocks or onto the floor out in front of you. Bring the left leg up, coming into an L shape. Gaze forward. Exhale, bend into the left knee. Press the left foot up. Open the hip. Press the left knee in towards your left shoulder. Take an inhalation. Exhale, gently drop the left foot, left toes hanging off of the mat. Open the right foot. Bend into the knees, coming into this 90-degree angle with the legs as you walk the hands forward. Dropping the head. Inhale, elongate the spine. Keep walking the fingertips forward. Move a little bit from side to side. And slowly begin to settle into Malasana. Bring the hands together in front of your heart. Elongate the spine. Pull the shoulders away from the ears, opening the heart. As you exhale, keeping the hands as they are, walk your feet so that they are parallel to one another. So they can be hips width distance. We'll do this a few times. So in the beginning, keeping them a little bit wider is a little bit more approachable. Keeping the hands in front of your heart. For now, walking the feet in a bit more. Take an inhalation, elongate the spine, press the big toes into the floor. Exhale, drop the belly, drop the hands. Drop the head, rounding through the spine. Maybe you walk the feet in a little bit more. Knees are on the outside of the shoulders. Inhale. Exhale, bring the right hand back behind you. Right fingertips facing away from you, shifting the weight. So now the feet are pressing into the floor. The right hand is an extension of the right hip behind you, coming into a variation of a back bend here, extending the left arm overhead. So we're not really worried about coming into full wheel just yet. The right fingertips are facing towards the back, just opening the whole left side, opening the left psoas, activating the glutes. Inhale. Exhale with control, coming out of the pose the way that you came in. Bringing yourself with your hands out in front of you, rounding through the spine. Inhale. Exhale, gently drop the sitting bones down onto the floor. Extend the legs away from you, working immediately into Navasana. So you can bring the hands behind your thighs, elongate the spine, point through the toes, active into the feet. So maybe if it's flexing into the feet or doing a demi point, whichever it is that is going to help you keep the legs really active, that's what you should be going for. You can leave the hands from your legs, extend the arms away from you. You can begin to work towards straightening the legs. Wherever you are, stay there for a few breaths. Remain there. Bring the attention to your breath. Bring the attention to your sensations. Inhale, make sure you're not rounding through the spine. So really press the heart forward. As you exhale, gently drop the feet down towards the floor. Bringing the left foot over towards the right. Left knee towards the left. Extend the right leg back behind you, coming into pigeon pose. So we're kind of Working from Navasana into pigeon by just swinging the right leg back. Fingertips of your hands on the floor facing forward. Bring your inner thighs a little bit in towards one another. Elevate yourself a little bit off of the floor. Extend the back leg. And then begin to drop the hips towards the floor. Opening the heart, gazing forward. Maybe you come down onto your elbows. Make sure that your weight isn't tilted over towards the left. We really want the hips to be squared. If you have a block and you feel that it's becoming difficult for you to press the right hip down, place a block underneath your left glute. This will help elevate the sitting bone a little bit. Inhale. Exhale. Maybe you drop the forehead down towards the floor. Maybe you stay here or extend the right arm over towards the left, coming into a twist, bringing the left hand towards your left foot. Gazing up. Another inhalation here. As you exhale, bring the left hand down onto the floor. If it's not already there, bring both hands down. Move the block if you're using the block. Tilt the weight towards your left sitting bone. Swing the right leg out in front of you. Bring the left foot to the inside of your right foot. Coming into Janushirshasana here. So left knee is working towards the floor. You can place a block underneath the outside of your left thigh as well. Right leg is active. Rotate your torso so that it's facing the straightened leg. As you inhale, extend the arms. And as you exhale, working from this straightened back, pulling the navel in towards the spine, work your way down towards the straightened leg. Inhale. And exhale. Keep gazing at your toes. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale, coming all the way back up, extending the arms overhead. Extend the left leg to meet the right. With control, lowering yourself down, bringing the arms overhead, bringing the feet overhead, coming into Halasana. Working your feet into your hands, beginning to straighten as much as possible through the spine. Active in the legs. Inhale. Exhale. Begin to work your way down. So bending through the left knee. Bend into the left knee. Left toes are facing up. Right leg is still straight. Shift your weight forward. Press the left foot into the floor. With the help of your hands, raise yourself into that L shape, bringing the right leg back behind you. Gaze forward. Exhale, bowing down. Keeping the right leg extended. Rotate the right hip, bring the left hand in line with your left toes, extend the right arm overhead, coming into Ardha Chandrasana. Stay really active in the extended leg here. Stacking the hips, maybe you gaze towards your right fingertips. Inhale, active in the glutes. Exhale, bend into the left knee. With control, drop the right foot down. Come up into warrior two. On the left side, gaze at your left fingertips. Inhale. Raise the left heel. As you exhale, bring the right hand to the inside of your left thigh. Extend the left arm back behind you. Inhale. Exhale, straightening through the left leg, coming into Trikonasana. Gaze towards your right fingertips. Take an inhalation here. As you exhale, drop the right hand to the inside of your left foot. Pivot the back foot. Come onto the outside of your right foot. Maybe you grab your left big toe, coming into side plank. So you can come into a tree pose variation of side plank, bringing your left foot towards the inside of your right thigh. You can come into full extension, bringing the left leg overhead. Alternatively, bring the feet to stack. You can bend into the knees as much as you need to here. It's more important that the right big toe is really pressing into the floor. This will help rotate the hips and lift the hips up. Wherever you are, Breathe for a few counts here. Inhale. Exhale, drop the left hand with control onto the floor. Pivot all 10 toes towards the front of the mat, coming into this high plank, working through chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. And exhale, downward facing dog. Press the right foot firmly into the floor. Inhale, raise the left leg. Exhale, bend into the left knee. Shift the weight forward, bring the knee to nose. Gaze in the space between your thumbs. Puff up through the back of the heart. As you exhale, drop the left foot in between your hands. Maybe you use the blocks here again. As you inhale, straighten through the left leg. Press firmly into the left big toe. Raise the right heel. Spine is long, gazing forward. Exhale, work the right heel down. Lift the left toes up. Bow the head down towards your shin. Hips are squared. Keep pulling the right hip forward, left hip back. Inhale, gazing forward, elongating the spine. Exhale. Inhale, gazing forward, elongating the spine. And exhale, bowing down. Inhale, shifting the weight forward, bending into the left knee, removing the blocks if that's what you have. Bring the left hand to the inside of your right hand to the inside of your left foot rather. Bring the left arm overhead. Gaze at your left fingertips. As you exhale, cactus the left arm, gaze back behind you. Inhale, extend. Pivot the back foot, transitioning through horse pose, coming into Skandasana on the right, extending the left arm overhead. Take an inhalation. Gaze towards your left fingertips maybe. Exhale, transitioning again through horse pose, this time into warrior two. Gaze at your left fingertips. Take an inhalation. As you exhale, lift the back heel. Stay bent in the left knee. Bring the arms overhead, coming into crescent. Press the heart forward. As you exhale, cactus the arms, gazing up. Inhale, extend the arms, bringing the belly on top of the left thigh. Exhale, bring the hands down onto the floor, onto the blocks. Bring the right leg back behind you. Gaze forward in this L shape. Exhale, bend into the right knee, knee to nose. Inhale, extend. Bend into the right knee. Press the right foot forward, opening the right hip. This time, moving the right hip over towards the right shoulder. Bringing the right knee up a little bit higher. You exhale with control, dropping the right foot onto the floor, opening the feet, opening the left foot towards the left, right toes towards the right. Sinking a little bit down into the hips, walking the hands forward, dropping the head. Inhale. Elongate through the spine here. Keep pulling the tailbone back behind you and walk your fingertips forward. And as you exhale, sinking the hips all the way down, bringing the hands together in front of your heart. Staying here for a breath in Malasana. As you exhale, walk the feet in so that they're parallel to one another. The hands can be going down towards the mat. Big toes are really pressing firmly. Round through the spine, walk the hands forward. Press the inner knees into your shoulders. And as you exhale with control, bring the left hand back behind you. Begin to raise the hips off of the floor, extending the right arm. Inhale. Make sure the knees are parallel to one another. Exhale, dropping the hips down, coming back out of the pose the way that you came in, extending the arms out in front of you, keeping the knees really close in towards your armpits. Walk the feet a little bit more in towards one another. Inhale, gaze forward. Exhale, bring your hands to your lower back. With control, shift your weight onto your toes. So the knees are now parallel to the floor. with the hands on your hips. With control, really be careful of your knees. Begin to drop the knees down onto the floor. So the feet are parallel to the knees, and the knees are hips width distance apart. Bring yourself up, standing up onto your knees. Keep your hands at your lower back, opening your heart. Activate your glutes. Pull the sitting bones in towards one another. Inhale. Exhale. Push the heart up, forward and up. Pull the elbows in towards one another, coming into camel pose. So going into your variation, either keeping the hands on the glutes or working the hands to the ankles, thumbs on the outside of the feet, fingertips on the inside, opening the heart. Take an inhalation. Exhale, slowly come out of the pose the way that you came in. Stay active in the belly. Bring yourself back onto your toes. Bring your hands out in front of you with control, lowering yourself down into Navasana, whatever variation you're taking. Inhale. Exhale through Halasana, hands back behind you. Work the feet towards the hands. Elongate the spine. Exhale, bend into the right knee this time. Really stay active in the left leg. Shift the weight forward with the help of the hands or without. Transition into that L shape, extending the left leg. Inhale, gaze forward. Exhale, place the right hand in line with the right foot. Open the left hip, coming into Ardha Chandrasana or half moon on the left side. Stay really active in the left leg. Inhale, maybe you gaze up towards your left fingertips. And exhale. Inhale. Exhale with control, bending into that right knee, dropping the left foot back behind you, coming through warrior two on this side. Extend the right fingertips, drop the shoulders away from the ears, keeping the hips open. Working in the heel to arch alignment now. Bring the left hand to the inside of your right thigh. Extend the right arm overhead. Take an inhalation. Exhale with control, pivot yourself forward, bringing the left hand down to the inside of your right foot, extending the right arm overhead. Inhale. Exhale, bring the right hand down onto the floor. Walk the right foot over towards the left, bringing the right knee down, coming into pigeon. Take an inhalation here. Exhale, maybe you come down onto the elbows. Check in with your hips again. Make sure that the left hip is pressing down. Pull the inner thighs in towards one another. Maybe you come down all the way with your forehead. Maybe you bring your left hand out towards the right side. Bring the right hand back behind you, looking for your right big toe with your right hand. Peeling the heart open, gazing up. Take an inhalation. Exhale, slowly drop the right hand, both of the hands actually down onto the floor, bringing yourself up, lowering yourself down onto your right hip. Swing the left foot forward. Bring the right foot to the inside of your left inner thigh. Pivot yourself so that you're facing the extended leg. Inhale, bring the arms overhead. And exhale, bowing down, coming into Janu Shirshasana on the other side. Again, you can place a block or a Tupperware or whatever you've been using as a block under your right outer thigh. And then really begin to bend from the waist, pulling the belly in. Flexing through the toes. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale, coming all the way back up, extending the right leg to meet the left. As you exhale, bring the hands back behind you. With control, lowering yourself all the way down onto the floor. Walk the feet in towards the sitting bones. And we'll just do a little counter pose towards the end. So either bridge or wheel pose, whatever's in your practice, just to take away from some of the compression that we've been putting the hips through today. So with bridge pose, walk the feet in. Maybe your fingertips work towards touching the bottom of your heels. And then pull the tailbone down so that the entirety of the spine is touching the floor. Keep the chin slightly tucked in towards the chest. And with the inhalation, keeping the legs parallel, making sure they're not splaying out, keeping the glutes active, keep pulling that tailbone, shooting it forward, pressing into the feet, especially into the front of the feet. Begin to raise the hips off of the floor. You can stay here. You can interlace the hands behind your back if you'd like to go deeper into opening your heart. If you're interlacing your hands, make sure that you're able to place the palms on the floor before you interlace them. And you are more than welcome to stay here for 5 breaths. If you'd like to go into full wheel, bring yourself down onto the floor with your sitting bones. Keep the feet as they are, really planting the feet firmly into the floor, grounding through the feet. Bring the hands alongside your ears with the fingertips facing your shoulders. In wheel, it's really important not to just shoot into it because we can cause a lot of damage into our lower back, which might not be something we feel instantaneously, but could create some long-term problems. So it's really important to work with acknowledging the sensations that you're feeling, right? So making sure that you're taking every single step of caution to do this pose holistically so that you actually reap all of the benefits of it, of opening the entire front side body. Fingertips facing towards your elbows. Make sure they're not splaying out towards the sides. The elbows remain parallel towards one another. With the feet planted firmly into the floor, begin to raise your hips like we just did in bridge. Bring the crown of the head onto the floor. And stay here. If this feels like enough, then it's enough. If you want to go deeper and you know that you're capable of going deeper without harming yourself, walk the hands a little bit closer towards your shoulders. With control, begin to raise the hips up and then press yourself towards the front of the mat. So really working towards opening the heart. Inhale, activate the glutes, pull the inner thighs in towards one another. Exhale, come out of the pose the way you came in. So press the top of the head down. With control, lower the rest of the body. And just shift the knees from side to side. Rotate in your wrists a little bit. If you were in bridge, then also move your knees from side to side. Relax a little bit into your lower back. Invite slightly greater movements from side to side, moving the hips a bit, maybe dropping the outside of the leg onto the floor. And then extending the arms away from you, dropping the knees over towards one side, gazing towards the opposite hand. Maybe you bring the bottom foot on top of the outer thigh. So in my case, I have my legs over towards the left, and I'm pressing my left outer foot onto my right outer thigh. Both of the shoulders are grounded. Inhale. And then exhale, slowly coming back through center, keeping the foot where it is. So if you don't have the left foot on top of the right thigh, then bring the left foot on top of the right thigh. And then bring your hands, interlace your hands behind your right thigh or on top of your right shin. And with the exhalation, just pull the knees in a little bit closer towards you. Pull the shoulders down towards the floor. Keep the chin slightly tucked. Keep the spine really long. The lower back is really planting firmly into the floor. Inhale. And exhale, gently drop the right foot. Release the feet away from one another. Press both of the feet into the floor. And again, invite those movements of swinging the knees from side to side, but with care and with gentleness. Keeping the arms extended. And then drop the knees over towards the opposite side. So in my case, I'm bringing my knees now over towards the right. I'm going to bring my right outer foot onto the outside of my left thigh and gaze towards my left fingertips. I'm just noticing the stretch that this creates. If it's causing any pain in the knees, then back off of the pose. Inhale, bring the left foot in towards the floor. Bring the right ankle over top of the left thigh. Push the right knee slightly away from you. Interlace the hands behind the left thigh or on top of the left shin. And with the exhalation, pull the knees in towards your chest. Stay active in the right foot, so keep the toes really flexed here. Keep planting that lower back into the floor. Pull the shoulders down towards the floor, opening the chest. One more inhalation here. And exhale, gently release the legs. Pull the knees in towards you. Bring your hands to your knees. And then begin to open the legs away from one another, bringing the knees in. So work with your own breath here, moving the legs in a circular motion. And then moving in the opposite direction. Just really moving, articulating all of these joints that we are working with today. When we create these movements that are very centric to a specific joint in the body, we're increasing the synovial fluid that is able to, that's moving around the joint, that's lubricating the joint. And we often don't do these types of isolated movements for our joints, but it's really good for us. It's really good for creating mobility in these parts of the body. With the next inhalation, extend the legs overhead, flex through the toes, move into the ankles a little bit. And as you exhale, gently drop the feet down. Release the arms alongside your body, closing the eyes, coming into the final pose, Shavasana. Thank you so much for practicing with me today, and I will see you next time. Namaste.